Hey everyone, Arglefump here with the latest chapter of Miss Clue, Crew's Most Deadly. I'm not sure what to call this chapter. I think it should be chapter number 13? Yeah, it should be chapter number 13, but it has a different title. It's called The Capture, Part 1. So which name do I call it by? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we've got a puzzle.
So far, so good. At least the radio comes on. I know I saw a pamphlet about the Coast Guard and the Royal Navy. I just need to remember where it was.
Coolio. So this was the puzzle that we kind of started in the previous video, but then we didn't. So the pamphlet we're looking for is inside this area, the one area that we haven't been able to explore so far. Nice of them to finally open it up at the end of the game.
It looks like I need to set the frequency to 575.
575. So that's what we're aiming for. So you can't really see the numbers on this thing, but 575 is going to be here in between 15 and 16, and you can barely see that. And I think it's band number 3.
Everything's all set. I wish I could call for help now, but I dare not, as the smugglers are probably monitoring this frequency to try and keep track of any Royal Navy ships that might be in the area. I hope when I do call there is a ship close enough to provide aid, or things could get very unpleasant. Now that we're certain that the radio is working, I had best turn it off so as not to take a chance on one of the tubes burning out.
Alright, so we're not...
Perfect. Well, all that's left is to get back and see if Mr. Berkeley and Ron have managed to get the lighthouse beacon relocated.
So we're not actually going to use the radio to call the Coast Guard. Not yet, anyway. We just wanted to make sure it was working. And the rest of this chapter is basically a scavenger hunt where we just go from place to place on the island. That's the only puzzle we're going to solve, is that radio puzzle we solved just there. Okay, so we're going over to the area where we wanted to set up the beacon, which is right by the lighthouse. There is only one way for us to get there. We have to go across through this area. Let's see, we want to go up the hill here. You can kind of see the pathway there. And there they are. Okay, so here are the Berkeleys. Looks like they're hard at work.
Jane, did the tubes work on the radio?
Like a charm. Were there any problems moving the beacon?
No problems at all. We are all set to take a bit of revenge on those smugglers. I can't say I will have any remorse at seeing their ship wrecked on the rocks.
I completely agree with you.
We should be done here shortly. Now, how about that tubing for my gas line?
It's over in the cave off the room with the light panel in it. I'll head over now, and you can meet me there as soon as you finish here.
Sounds like a plan. I'll be right over.
See you there.
I like how Ron refuses to look at Jane whenever he's talking to her. Yeah, okay, so here we go down the pathway. And this time we go down the pathway to the left. Not the one that goes up the hill, but the one that goes down to the beach. So Jane wasn't very specific about where she wanted to go. The room with the tubing, you might not remember where it is, but it's that one room that's near this first generator. It's just over here, and that's something new we'll explore later. It's this room here to the left. Yeah, you might remember, and you might not, that this box has
I would need a
tubing.
pry bar to see what's in this.
This has tubes inside of it.
You got here quickly.
We finished up with the beacon faster than we expected.
Will this tubing work for you?
Definitely. That is standard fuel line, and it's just what I need to repair the plane.
I have a knife which you can use to cut up as much fuel line as you need. I'll head down to the main cave where the smugglers have their fuel stored and get the door open while you finish up here.
Perfect.
Alrighty, so now we have to go to the main cave, which we're already inside of. Yeah. Anyway, the fuel was all the way over here. Not too far away, just farther down this cave. Which key do I need? Is it this one?
Amazing. The smugglers have a lot of fuel here. No wonder they're coming back here tonight.
I was startled when I first opened the door and saw all their storage.
They must have been using this for quite a while and hijacked a number of fuel transport ships.
I hope you can find the type of gas you need for the plane.
If I can't find it here, they probably don't make it.
While you check out the supplies, I'll go on down the tunnel to the grotto. I have a surprise for you there.
What type of surprise?
Let's just say it's the kind of surprise you'll find very moving.
I can hardly wait.
Alright, so that's his wrinkly shirt, and now we will go to the grotto.
Great, the generator is running. But where did I leave that cart? Oh, I know. I left it at the end of the track on the cliff.
Alright, so now we have to go back to where the cart is. It's right here through this hidden tunnel.
All I have to do is backtrack to the cart and I'm all set.
This being the big main room where which we opened. We found Mr. Berkeley and Evelyn here. We opened it with Ron. And I don't know what's here on this side of the area.
It's locked.
I'm not sure I have the key. Where are my keys? Here they are.
This lock is stuck.
Oh, never mind. We can't unlock that door. It's just a tunnel to nowhere. Fine. Okay, cool. Whatever. What we are gonna do is go here. We're basically backtracking to the cart. Remember this? The hatch?
I hope the tide has gone back out.
We first met
Great.
Ron here.
Looks like the tide is out.
So now we just go back through this area.
I'm glad this didn't wash out with the tide. Let's see. If I understand rappelling correctly, I should be able to go back up this cliff. Wow, this rappelling is a lot of fun.
Yay! Rappelling. Okay, so this door, maybe that door we found earlier
It's locked.
was connected to this door that we can't unlock, because they're both doors we can't unlock. I don't know. I'm still not completely sure how this island is set up. Cool. So now we just get to ride this twice so we can be with Ron.
I need to go back over and meet Ron. There's still a lot to do before tonight.
Now, is it just me, or was Jane getting kind of flirty with Ron earlier? Because it seemed like she was trying to flirt with him, but she seemed kind of awkward and didn't know how to flirt, which, to be honest, is exactly how I think Jane Darcy would flirt with somebody. Either that or she'd give them a humongous lecture on how much she likes them, and you know, she would talk for 3 minutes straight, so they wouldn't be able to respond ever. And by the time she finishes, she looks up and notices they ran away 5 minutes ago. Yeah, poor Jane. Oh well, hopefully Ron can be her boyfriend and she won't have to worry about that anymore.
This is amazing.
We call this the Jane Darcy Transport Service, courtesy of your friendly smugglers.
Where does this go?
It can take us to the other side of the island, up to the lighthouse, and even over to the cliff where the pirates bring their boat in at high tide to put cargo in their warehouse.
You really have been busy.
As a bee,
In that case, can you buzz me to the other side of the island?
at your service. Just hop in behind me and prepare for a wild ride. For your safety, keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the cart at all times.
You have an excellent future as a tour guide.
Ron, that's maybe not the best compliment you could come up with. Oh well. I imagine while Jane is lecturing Ron, she'll probably tell him that she's Jane Darcy from Pride and Prejudice, except not really, yeah. Especially because there really isn't a Jane Darcy in Pride and Prejudice, but it's complicated. Now I'm a detective in the 2000s, and I'm totally not the same thing as Nancy Drew. Yay!
What a rush! Who would have guessed you would find this on an island?
Just part of our island service to keep our guests happy.
I'm going to head over and replace the fuel line on my plane.
I'll take the cart back to the grotto, and then let Mr. Berkeley and Evelyn know how things are shaping up. I'll leave the generator running so you can use the cart.
That would be perfect. I can use the cart to transport the fuel I need.
Just pull that lever and it will activate the cart and return it.
Your island transport service has thought of everything.
As soon as we know the smugglers have wrecked their ship, I will call the Royal Navy and meet you here.
I'll have my plane here ready to go.
See you then, and keep your fingers crossed.
You know it.
We have a long night ahead of us.
Cool, so that's basically the end of this chapter. All we have to do is ride the minecart one more time. Hope you're not getting sick of the minecart animation, because this is the last one. This is the last one. Like I said, we're at the end of the chapter here. Although maybe next week, when the rest of the game is released, then maybe we'll have more minecart madness. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so that is the end of Chapter 13, and Miss Clue has a special announcement. They have hired Lonnie Minella to do voices for Miss Clue. You might know her as the voice of Nancy Drew. She did the voice of Nancy Drew in games 1 through 31, I believe. Well, this is another game that she'll be doing voices for. She's going to be in October's Trials of Salem, and then another game in February 2017. So she will be doing the daughter of Lord Cavendish, the young friend and confidant of Jane, and they'll be going to Amsterdam. Okay, so we've got a new game announcement, 2 new Miss Clue games to look forward to. Sounds interesting, but in the more immediate future, September 18th, we have The Capture, Part 2. Woohoo! So, we've got this trap ready. Will we actually capture the smugglers? Stay tuned and find out.